Hi everybody, this is David with Bolivar Live. You know, for the last week or so, we've been talking about our classes we're going to do. The kids are out of school, and I know they're driving some parents crazy, so we're going to help you out with Bolivar Live, Class 101. A little bit about history, mammals, vacations, and more here, but today we've got a class on the Bolivar Lighthouse. Join us, class has already begun. Bolivar Lighthouse. The lighthouse was built in 1872 and towers 117 feet above sea level. It guided mariners for 61 years and was retired in 1933 when it was replaced by the South Jetty Light. It is now privately owned and not open to visitors. The lighthouse, which may have been erected by Republic of Texas, was dismantled during the Civil War, and plans for the present Bolivar Light made after that time. The Bolivar Lighthouse is made out of brick sheathed in cast iron plates riveted together. It once glistened with a white and black banded exterior, but now is covered with rust and is almost a uniform black. Need groceries, fishing, or camping supplies? Looking for the perfect coastal clothing? Shop the Big Store, our Bolivar Peninsula superstore. If the big store doesn't have it, chances are you really don't need it. Visit thebigstore.us. The 52 candle power beacon guided ships through the channel, which in earlier years was undredged, safely from the Gulf of Mexico to the port of Galveston. The burner of the lamp was fed by kerosene, contained in storage tanks on the lower level, and the kerosene was forced through nozzles into the mantle where it became gas, burning with great intensity. 8 rays of lights were produced every 15 seconds as the light slowly revolved through the night. Inside the lighthouse, the brass finishings were always kept brilliantly polished, and it was considered one of the most attractive and efficient lighthouses on the Texas coast. The lens was installed in the Bolivar Point Lighthouse near Galveston, Texas from 1907 to 1933. It is a Fresnel lens named for the French scientist Augustin Fresnel. The lens is now being shown in the Smithsonian Institute and is on display for all to enjoy. The photo you viewed is from the Smithsonian. He designed a bee-like array of lenses and prisms that vastly improved the effectiveness of lighthouses in the 19th century. Built in 7 sizes or orders, Fresnel lenses diffuse lamplight into a beam that could be seen for miles away. This is a 3rd order lens. For Miss H.C. Claiborne, wife of the first lighthouse keeper. Life at the lighthouse is very lonely and friendless. There's very little visiting because travel is non-existent from the point to Galveston. We pass most our days by reading books. The lighthouse withstood an onslaught of 2 of the worst storms recorded on the Texas Gulf Coast, the 1900 and the 1950 hurricanes. An inspector's report said after the 1900 storm, which claimed an estimated 6,000 lives on Galveston Island, that, through the keeper's efforts, the lives of 125 people were saved, and to my personal knowledge, he harbored and fed a large number of them for a considerable period. At one point during the storm, according to the story of one historian, the hurricane winds caused the tower to sway so badly that the machinery for the light failed to work, and that night Claiborne rotated the machinery by hand to keep the beacon bright. Winds of 126 miles per hour were recorded in the 1950 hurricane, and still the lighthouse withstood the pounding of wind and waves. The light in the tower burned every night during the years of its service except 2 nights of that storm, August 16th and 18th, or 17th through the 18th, when the supply of oil used to light the lamps floated away from the surging waters of an 11-foot tide, bursting open the door at the base of the tower. 61 people took refuge in the lighthouse during that storm, huddling on the iron steps during the night as winds rocked the tower, and peering out the windows during the day to see their homes and crops being destroyed. 2 houses on stilts for protection from rising tides were built near the lighthouse for the lighthouse keeper and his 2 assistants. H.C. Claiborne retired and was replaced by Captain J.B. Brooks in 1918. The government sold the lighthouse as surplus property in 1947. E.W. Boyd Interest entered a private bid of $5,500, which was $500 higher than the other bid. On May 29, 1933, after 61 years of service, the Bolivar Lighthouse was officially retired. The inner mechanism has been removed. The lamps and the reflector lenses have been reassembled in the Galveston County Museum. In 1952, the land and buildings were sold to Pat E. Boyd. In 1968, the movie My Sweet Charlie, starring Patty Duke and Al Freeman Jr., was filmed at the lighthouse. No longer painted and maintained, the lighthouse has rusted to a uniform shade of black. It stands near Highway 87, a visual delight and a symbol of romance and adventure of long ago times at sea. You know, I've always said that the Bolivar Lighthouse is an icon, one, but also a welcome mat for those coming on to Bolivar and a farewell goodbye to those leaving Bolivar. I hope you enjoyed the show today. The Class 101 with Bolivar Live, will be back later this week with another class from somewhere here on Bolivar Peninsula. Until next time, this is David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.